This is where it becomes real. Not when you hear about it, not when you read about it, but when you stop and actually stay with it. Because we hear about wars every day, updates, numbers, statements. And after a while, it starts to feel like a movie, like something happening somewhere else to someone else, something very distant from you, something you can read and move on from. But this is where that changes. Because when you choose to slow down, when you choose to really look, it stops being just information and becomes something else, something human, something that does not fit inside of a headline. This conflict, the one between Israel, Iran, and the United States, didn't start as a movie, didn't start as an idea, didn't start as a drawing. It started with real actions, real decisions, real consequences, airstrikes, missiles, people running, staying, crying, and everything that follows after that. Lives interrupted, routines broken, days that no longer feel normal. And that's the part we don't always sit with, because it's easier to understand war in numbers than it is to understand it in people. But the truth is, this isn't something that already happened. This is something that is still happening right now, as you're watching this, as I'm drawing this. This is someone's present, not a story, not a past, a reality. And maybe that's what feels uncomfortable. Because once you see it like that, you can't fully disconnect anymore. You realize that distance doesn't make it less real. That just because it's happening on the other side of the world doesn't mean you should feel far away from it. Because at the end of the day, this is not about countries. It's about people. People who wake up without knowing what the day will bring. People who had plans, expectations, ordinary lives. And suddenly, everything shifts. And there is nothing they can do to go back to what it was. So when I draw this, I'm not trying to recreate war. I'm trying to slow it down. I'm trying to make you look at it just a little longer than usual. Long enough for you to feel something. Because if we only see it as something distant, we stop caring. And when we stop caring, it becomes easier to ignore. And when it becomes easier to ignore, it keeps happening without us even noticing. So this drawing, this is part 2, the final result of this piece. But this is not just scribbles on a piece of paper. This is a representation of things that can happen every single day to real people in the world we live in. And as we all know, this is happening right now. The series is not meant to be political. It's not about choosing sides. It's about choosing to feel, choosing to stay aware, to have compassion. Just because something is happening far away from us doesn't mean it should be ignored. And maybe we can't change every single thing in the world, but we can choose not to look away. The reason I do this is to help you see beyond what a picture shows, to help you feel at least a little more for those who live through moments like these. Because the purpose of this channel is to make us become more human every single day.